On the corner of an old park stood a white ice cream van, covered in faded stickers and wrapped in a sweet scent of vanilla that floated through the air like a memory from childhood. People hurried past, but she stood still, as if time itself had frozen around her. Her name was Emma, a cup of coffee in her hand, her eyes reflecting a day that looked just like the one before, until a soft, melodic voice beside her broke the monotony. "Do you think they still have strawberry sorbet left?" Emma turned. There stood a girl in a light denim jacket, hair a little messy, with a smile that felt like sunshine. She held a camera in her hands and, catching Emma's curious look, added, "I'm hunting for perfect shots and perfect ice cream." Emma laughed for the first time in what felt like ages. Her voice sounded unsure, as if it had forgotten how to sound happy. "Then you're in luck," she said. "This van's here every day." "Good," the stranger replied, grinning. "Guess that means I will be too." She offered her hand. "Harper." Their fingers touched, just for a second, but it was enough for Emma to feel something shift inside her, like a wall quietly crumbling. From that day on, they met at the same ice cream van almost every evening. Harper took photos of everything: kids, dogs, random strangers. Then she began photographing Emma. Said she had the calmest eyes she'd ever seen. Emma couldn't explain why it felt so easy to be around her. Maybe because Harper didn't pry. She just listened and laughed, with that light, contagious laughter that made the world seem warmer. One evening, Harper said, "You always look at other people, but never at yourself." Emma looked away. "What if you don't like what you see?" Harper smiled gently. "Then you just need someone to show you what's really there." When the rain started, they didn't run for cover. Harper tilted her face to the sky, letting raindrops fall on her lashes, then turned toward Emma. "You know, I always dreamed of a moment like this. No umbrellas. No plans. Just standing here, feeling everything." Emma didn't answer, but her hand found Harper's on its own. Their fingers intertwined, and suddenly the world went quiet. No traffic, no voices, just the sound of breathing and closeness. Harper stepped closer. "If I kiss you," she whispered, "will it be a mistake?" Emma met her gaze, searching for an answer, but it was already there. "No. It'll be the truth." Their lips met in the rain, simple, unhurried, but full of something so real it made everything else fade away. From that moment, everything changed. They walked through the city at night, ate ice cream even when it was cold, argued about who was more stubborn, and shared silences that said more than words ever could. Harper talked about wanting to open her own photo exhibition. Emma confessed she dreamed of quitting her dull office job and finally living. Harper looked at her and said softly, "Then start. Right now." But life, like ice cream, doesn't stay sweet forever. One evening, Harper didn't show up. The van stood in its usual place, the ice cream melted, and Emma waited. An hour, then 2, then a day. Later she learned Harper had left for another city. A new project. No goodbye. Emma told herself it was just a story that never had the chance to grow. But every morning, when she passed the park, she could still hear Harper's laugh. The scent of vanilla now carried a quiet ache. Time passed. The van returned to the park, newly painted, brighter than before. Emma wasn't planning to stop, but then she heard a familiar voice. "Do you still have strawberry sorbet?" She froze, turned, and there she was, Harper, a little tired, camera around her neck, but still wearing that same unmistakable smile. "I thought you were gone for good," Emma whispered. "I thought I had to leave to understand where I wanted to come back to." Harper stepped closer, close enough for Emma to smell that same mix of rain, vanilla, and something she could only describe as home. "I'm sorry," Harper said softly, "but if you want, we can start over." Emma smiled faintly, her eyes warm and steady. "Only if we get ice cream first." Harper grinned. "2 strawberry sorbets?" "Of course. And this time, no goodbyes." They sat on the park bench, ice cream in hand, saying nothing. Just 2 women who had crossed distance, fear, and silence, to return to the place where everything began. And when Harper gently touched her hand, Emma realized, sometimes the greatest love stories don't start with fireworks or fate, but with a small ice cream van and a glance that holds an entire world.